So let's tell the story of why I ride a motorcycle. Let's go back to the beginning. I was 9 years of age when our family was fortunate enough to get a 50cc mini bike. So I started early on. I got the taste of being on two wheels with a motor instead of having the pedal, which is quite neat. I was able to go much faster than I could on the pedal power. And that was an extremely enjoyable time, something that stayed with me for the rest of my life. And if we fast forward a decade or so, got a car license, got a car, did that sort of thing, and then years later again, I got a job in the city, started in the afternoon and worked into the evening and finished at 9:30 at night. And the organisation I worked for didn't have on-site parking or anything like that, so there it was, laid down for me. I had to get public transportation to get in and out of the city. That first shift or the second shift, can't quite remember now, it was one or two, finished at 9:30. There's a 20-minute wait between when the shift ends and the bus stop. The bus arrives at the bus stop that I have to get on. And the bus stop was located in a hot spot of seedy, drug-induced, alcohol-fueled, crazy nut job behaviour. So we get on the bus at the end of that first shift. There's a small crowd. Not many people catch the bus home at that night on a weeknight. And some dingling off his trolley on something comes on the bus and he's in outer space in a planet far, far away and threatens to kill every white person on the bus. He's screaming as loud as he could and very violent and filled with rage. You could see it. And I looked around, there's an Indian person next to me, an Asian person over there, and I'm the only white person on the bus. So I immediately think to myself, this is less than ideal. Turns out it was all just a peacock fluffing out his feathers, all smoke and no fire. Or he was just blind, so blind, wasted, that he didn't actually notice that I was white. So nothing happened there, but in the weeks and months that followed, it was similar behaviour almost every night, every other night. To the point where I'm working a job that I can't really stand. I'm only there for the money, let's be honest. So unappreciated at work. Working a job where you get no respect for, there's no sight of career progression, you're just a number on a card. And then you go and work your security / bouncer job at the bus stop, which is unofficial type, of course, and you don't get paid for that. So already the seeds are being sowed that I'm not enjoying this public transportation business. Then you look at the buses themselves, they're so dirty. And they rattled the door on this one bus, I remember it was almost about to fall off, it was so rattly and loud. Sometimes the heating or the air conditioning completely did not work. Some people have questionable hygiene standards, somewhat questionable hygiene standards. And you combine that with the fact that it took an hour to get home, the bus driver would drive at 50 k's an hour because there wasn't many people waiting at the bus stop, so he didn't want to get out of his time zone there, so we had to slow the bus down. It was a boring, dirty and unpleasant experience. So in my 20 minutes waiting at the bus stop, I would see motorcycles go by with L plates on them. In Australia, you have to get your learner's permit when you start off riding a motorcycle. I saw these new riders going in and out of the city all the time. There was heaps of them. It was almost like an epidemic at this point. And they just looked like they were having a good time. Because there's free parking as well in our city. So there's free parking. You're almost always guaranteed the spot working the time shifts I work in. So there's a parking spot waiting for you right by where you work. It's free. You get in and out much faster, and it looks like everyone's having a great time. And I'm having a nightmare of a time on this with this bus catching business. And then it was settled. I thought, that's it. I'm going to get my license. Went and did the riding school test. Got my license. Got a little black Honda 250. And within 1 or 2 weeks of riding to work, riding home from the city, the light bulb just went off. This is the most incredible fun. I remember when I was nine years old as a kid, having a great time on the mini bike, And I thought, now that I'm an adult, I'm probably not going to have as good a time as I did when I was a kid. But I can tell you right now, there is nothing. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. It is so much more fun as an adult riding a motorcycle. Way more fun. And I soon quickly realised as well that all the cliches you hear about motorcycle riding when you're not a rider, they sound quite corny. You know, I ride because I experience the freedom. There's nothing like the freedom of being on two wheels. And you're like, yeah, whatever, buddy. Other people say, oh, it's soothing. You come away and you're so relaxed, calm, and peaceful afterwards. It sounded all a little bit corny, a little bit hippie and stuff like that. But for me personally, I can't speak for everyone. For me personally, it is so true. It is 100% true. All those cliches about riding, they fit me perfectly. I love it. It's the total feeling of freedom. You're out there in the wind. It's just you, your humming engine or your thumping engine in this case right now, in the background, and it's just the road. You've got so much road to use as well when you're on a motorcycle. You can legally, in our country anyway, you can fit 2 bikes per lane. Theoretically you can fit 3, there's that much space. So you've got more of the road to use. When you get into a lean, that's probably the most enjoyable thing ever on 2 wheels, getting that lean and going into the corner. It sounds like it's something that you get used to over time. You don't get used to it. It's still electrifyingly fun throwing it into a lean on the corner. It's probably why I'm still stuck with sports bikes at this point in time. Not that, I mean, you still lean a cruiser and all that over, but sports bike leading is incredibly enjoyable. They're so nimble, the nimbleness. Economy wise, even the most outrageous sports bike putting out tons of power and all the rest of it is virtually pocket change to fill that tank up with petrol again. They're very economical things. And if you look at it purely from a performance standpoint, maybe all you care about is fast numbers, being the fastest, that sort of thing, which a lot of people do, not everyone, but you're out there. Nothing tops the performance that you can get from a sports bike. All those fancy cars with the fancy names and monster-sized power plants, that sort of thing, will get blitzed by almost every sports bike out on the market today. So within a month or so of riding, again, back and forwards to work, every day, every weekday, I knew right then I had to join some sort of a club and go for weekend group rides. I had so much enthusiasm for motorcycle riding. Now I had no one to share it with at work. There were a few guys that rode scooters to work, but it was not a motorsport orientated environment, or an enthusiast motoring environment at all where I worked. So I had to share it with other people, and that's why I went on. I had a Facebook at the time. We found a group to ride with, and we went riding on weekends and following. You've heard me say this in the previous video, following behind more experienced riders. I got to learn a lot more watching them go through corners, what speeds are taken and that sort of thing. But I would like to add at this point in time, if you do go through a group ride, even if you're not a learner, maybe you've been riding for a long time, just thought, let's ride with a group of people. Listen to your instinct, your intuition, your internal compass, your inner monologue, whatever you want to call it, and don't push the boundaries. If something inside of you says, I don't like the sound of that, well, that's not a good idea. When you're on a motorcycle, don't do it. I mean, with every aspect of life, if something's telling you not to do it, you probably shouldn't. But definitely on a motorcycle, listen to what you're feeling inside. Because if that road seems a little bit dangerous, or the guys you're riding with like to hit 200 and that sort of thing, as soon as the road opens up, you're not comfortable with doing that, that's when things will go wrong. Listen to yourself and you'll know what your abilities are and what the abilities are of your machine. Don't push them on the street. By all means, take it to the track and go nuts. Find the 10/10ths on a track. That's a great idea. On the street, stay within a set boundary. Don't let anybody talk you out of out of that boundary. And you'll return home, and you'll return home with the biggest grin. I mean, it's talk about releasing endorphins after a ride. You're on top of the world feeling. It's very difficult to describe to someone that hasn't ridden before. I mean, if you're watching this video, chances are you are a rider. But you're as high as a kite when you step off that bike. And when you throw a leg over and go for a ride, you think, oh, I'm not really up for a ride today. Within seconds, that feeling's gone, and you're like, oh, this is good. This is really good right now. So in a nutshell, I started riding again out of necessity or a hatred for the public transport system, depending on which way you look at it. And I've ended up into a weekend pleasure rider. And that is why I ride.